The Friends cast has responded to the sudden death of 56-year-old Mathew Perry. Their reaction is the saddest part of this story. Friends character Jennifer Aniston posted a sweet message and a black and white photo of herself and Perry on Instagram. Aniston played Rachel Green. There's a void in my heart that words cannot describe. In addition to being a co-star, Mathew was also a brother and a close friend. We shared tears, laughed, and overcame obstacles as a team. The world has lost a master of comedy. Famous for playing Perry's on-screen wife Monica Geller, Courtney Cox said on Twitter, "Losing Mathew feels like losing a part of my family. In real life, he was one of my best friends off-screen and my on-screen spouse. This is a wound that is difficult to heal." The eccentric Phoebe Buffay's actress, Lisa Kudrow, paid heartfelt homage to Mathew on social media, writing, "He had this special ability to make the world laugh even during the toughest times. His wit and spirit will always be cherished. Peace be with you, my dear friend." On a late-night talk show, Joey Tribbiani of Friends, Matt LeBlanc voiced his sadness, saying, "Mathew and I shared so many laughs on and off set. His quick wit was unique, and it's difficult to picture a world without him." A touching recollection of Perry was given by actor David Schwimmer, who is well known for playing Ross Geller. "I remember the innumerable times Mathew would improvise and leave all of us in stitches. We shall always cherish his legacy as Chandler Bing and as a remarkable person." Lastly, on social media, Maggie Wheeler, who played Chandler Bing's intermittent lover Janice, posted, "Oh my God, Chandler Bing. Mathew, you had a contagious laugh and a sense of humor. We shall sincerely miss you." The cast of Friends United Sorrow illustrates the close relationship they had with Perry, the invaluable influence he played in their lives, both on and off the screen, is attested to by their tributes. Sadly, Mathew Perry, who was best known for playing Chandler Bing in the hit sitcom Friends, died at the age of 56. The actor was found dead in his Los Angeles home, and preliminary reports stated that he appeared to have drowned. The tragic incident happened on October 28, 2023. Perry's untimely death shocked the entertainment world, and his devoted worldwide following bringing a gloomy moment to the business. The way that Mathew Perry passed away emphasizes how erratic and fleeting life is, serving as a reminder to many of how fleeting life is. Perry's touching performance on Friends made millions laugh and smile, and his fans will always remember him for that. It is evident from his capacity to bridge generational gaps and foster human connections via humor, how deeply he impacted popular culture. As a result of the widespread grief over his passing, Mathew Perry's legacy as a beloved character in television history endures, showing the significant influence that performers can have on society. For an extended period, Mathew Perry's struggle with addiction has been documented in the public domain. Fortunately, he has overcome this difficult task and documented every aspect of his experience in his just-published memoir, Friends, Lovers, and the Big Terrible Thing. As he interacts with followers, Perry shares the awful truth about his battle with addiction and explains how he overcame a 2 survival probability to reach his current status. His fight against addiction. Like many aspirational actors, Mathew Perry had a strong ambition to be famous. Perry described his need for recognition as being like steam coming out of his ears in an open interview with the New York Times from 2002. When he was cast as the humorous Chandler Bing in the popular television series Friends in 1994, his wish came true. Perry saw this as a career-defining moment, particularly in light of recent losses in his career. But despite Friends drawing an estimated 34 million viewers in its first season, Perry's personal life remained hidden, even as his career soars. Even though his life seemed spectacular on the outside, he struggled with extreme loneliness, which was made worse by his drinking. Perry had just begun to deal with his drinking problems when he was 24 years old and got the role in Friends, so he was able to control them. But 10 years later, things had gotten dangerously worse for him, and he was taking 55 Vicodin pills a day. Perry dropped to a slender 128 pounds. At the height of his popularity with Friends, he voiced serious reservations. Although Perry acknowledged that he needed to kick his addiction, he had no idea how to proceed, as he disclosed in an interview with People magazine. He was so dependent on booze that not even the threat of an arrest from the police would have stopped him. Unsettlingly, Perry revealed in an interview with Steve Evans of BBC Radio 2 that he couldn't remember anything from the 3 seasons of Friends that he most likely saw from 3rd to 6th. At the heart of it all, Perry maintains, was a real enjoyment of alcohol's effects, rather than a purposeful attempt to find solace in it. After an accident with a jet ski in 1997, his relationship with alcohol took a dangerous turn, and he started taking pharmaceuticals after being prescribed Vicodin. This confluence pushed him farther into the depths of alcoholism and caused him to show up for work under the influence. Paradoxically, he stuck to his odd policy of never drinking while working, even if it meant showing up to the set extremely tipsy. In 1997, Perry entered the 28-day Hazelden program in Minnesota with the intention of recovering, and he was able to stay sober for a short while. But his struggle continued, and in 2001, alcohol-induced pancreatitis forced him into a 2-week hospital stay. Perry asked for assistance when things got bad, even though Friends was just halfway through filming. Due to his health, the filming was put on hold for 2 months. In 2002, Perry triumphantly returned to Friends after completing a grueling 2.5-month stay at a private treatment center, welcoming a more robust version of himself. Perry acknowledged in an interview with the New York Times that his intense dread of not waking up the next day was what drove him to stop drinking, not so much out of a desire to do so. In an effort to help those who were similar to him, he founded the Perry House, a sober living facility in Malibu, in 2013. Being willing and able to lend support to anyone who approaches him seeking treatment for alcoholism is something Perry is very passionate about. In 2018, Perry experienced a serious health emergency due to a perforation in his gastrointestinal tract, which required emergency surgery to close the opening. The 49-year-old friend star's colon burst due to an opioid addiction, putting him in danger of passing away. And he talked candidly about this terrifying ordeal, recounting how the hospital personnel had estimated his odds of survival at just 2 when he was first admitted. An extracorporeal membrane oxygenation system was used to help him breathe, basically acting as his lungs. Perry compared his circumstances to a desperate Hail Mary attempt, considering the improbable outcome. His 14 stomach surgeries have left him with physical scars from this health concern, which act as daily reminders and strengthen his resolve to stay sober. In press interviews, Perry revealed a wise counsel from his therapist. Imagine himself living the rest of his life with a colostomy bag in case he is ever tempted to take OxyContin again. Regarding his network of support, Perry has made no secret of the steadfast help his friends, co-stars provided him, particularly during the difficult periods when he was filming while battling addiction. Behind closed doors as well as in public, Jennifer Aniston, Courtney Cox, Lisa Kudrow, Matt LeBlanc, and David Schwimmer often demonstrated their support for one another. Their knowledge and empathy were crucial to Perry. He acknowledged the advantages of his fame and fortune, but said he would exchange them all to never have suffered from addiction. It's interesting that considering the creative outlet Friends provided, he gives gratitude to the show for being a lifeline as much as for the financial benefits. The 2021 HBO Max reunion demonstrated how solid their relationship remained. Co-creator of Friends, Marta Kaufman, talked about how heartbreaking it was to see Perry struggle. She thought back to when she had welcomed him back in the first episode of the last season of the show. Later on, she described the structure put in place to help him at this time. The majority of the crew was aware of certain aspects of this system, and it was a frequently discussed subject. Kaufman emphasized the group's encouragement and collective shield of hope for Perry in a 2020 interview with Us Weekly and other media sources. Perry bears it all in his forthcoming memoir, Friends, Lovers, and the Big Terrible Thing, which is scheduled for release on November 1. He explores the horrific time when, at the age of 49, he nearly died by chronicling the aftermath of his colon rupturing from opiate abuse, including his 2 comas, 5 months in the hospital, and 9 months of living with a colostomy bag. Now that he's out of the grip of alcoholism and addiction, he feels now is the perfect time to tell his story. This choice was motivated by the possibility of having a beneficial effect on other people. He faced several obstacles on his road to sobriety, especially while filming Friends. He astonishingly stayed sober for the duration of the show's 9th season. Perry addresses his relapses head-on in his memoir. He discloses that over the years, he has attended 15 therapy programs. Now that he's in a healthier environment, Perry has all he needs to maintain his recovery. He emphasizes that relapses do not negate the lessons learned and progress made during prior sober periods, even though he has chosen to keep the duration of his current sobriety a secret. The date of the new sobriety journey's commencement is the only modification he observes. Perry deserves praise for his steadfast dedication to helping others who are struggling with addiction. Out of 5 people on an ECMO machine, he was the only one to survive the night he was entered. He feels humbled and thankful for the profound feeling of introspection this terrifying experience has given him. He thinks a lot of people will be shocked by how hard he had to fight and how close he was to passing away if he hadn't survived. It wouldn't have been totally unexpected, even though it would have shocked many. Perry's current goal is for readers to identify with his narrative and understand that addiction affects everyone, regardless of achievement or status. Despite the difficulties and shadows along the road, his adventure has ultimately strengthened him in a variety of ways. He makes a point of saying that even in its darkest periods, his memoir has a hopeful undercurrent that highlights his perseverance and trek toward the end of the dark tunnel.